If you're struggling to turn women on, you shouldn't blame yourself too much. Studies have shown that women are notoriously more difficult to turn on than men, but there are a couple of ways that you can try to make this easier on yourself, which many men, especially those with a little more experience, use. These might seem to many as closely guarded secrets, and others truly believe that it takes money to turn them on, but this isn't the case. Thanks to genuine social skills mixed with a little psychology, any man, regardless of their looks or social status, can turn on a perfect 10. And no, you don't need to tie her up, but some girls do love it.
Fearless Forge.
Number 1. Becoming someone she wants but can't get. One of the most important things that drive human beings on this planet is their constant urge to get the things they know are out of reach. It's the one thing that often encourages men to work harder, but it also has the same effect on women. You see, women want what they can't have, and the moment they know they can have you, they are simply looking for the next person that becomes a challenge. Well, that's if you have a woman who strives to be better, and with modern influences, women are constantly being pushed to become queens. You might have heard celebrities like Taylor Swift often suggest that women shouldn't settle, and this has created a culture where even an unattractive woman now demands that the man she dates is hyper successful and looks like Zac Efron. So how do you get her to beg you for sex? Well, the key lies in the person you're becoming and how you've structured your life. You see, many men have boring and plain lives where their schedule is always open. When she calls you, you're always available, and when you call her, she often has plans. This changes the power dynamic in the relationship, and now you have to fall into her busy schedule. However, when your schedule is full and you don't have time for wasted moments, you increase your value. This is exactly why many celebrities are so attractive to women. They're always busy, and when they give some time to women, it's seen as a privilege. When you make your time harder for someone to gain access to, the moments when they spend time with you become extremely valuable. In psychology, this is called a sense of urgency, and she'll want to make sure that those moments she spends with you are valuable. Fortunately, sexual intimacy is one of the main things that women value as time well spent. To make this easier to grasp, she'll want to use every tool at her disposal as a way of trying to steal more and more of your attention, which often makes it easier to get her in bed. The other thing that goes hand in hand with this is that when you cut time short with her, she'll feel a little rejected, which is when she'll start begging for time with you. This begging to spend time with you often means something physical. However, to reach this point, you need to occupy your time with things that allow you to be busy. If you have too much free time, she realizes that she's already won, and now it's on to the next challenge. Number 2, learning to say no. The one important thing you need to keep in mind is that when you say yes too often, people take it for granted. Let's say that you have a little bit of time available to spend with your partner. The next thing that'll get her to beg you for sex is how you choose to spend this time. One of the biggest problems is that with this free time, men choose to dedicate every single minute of it to their partner but forget about their own relaxation activities. When a man doesn't continuously focus on his partner, she begins to wonder, and since women are far more likely to develop insecurities, she'll try to satisfy your every need. But if you reject her advances occasionally to do something else, her mind is preoccupied with you and why you don't give in to her whims. This could spark some passive-aggressive behavior from her, which should be ignored and not even given attention. The next step will be when she starts finding new ways to elicit sex by trying to seduce you. Eventually, this will lead to her initiating, and when you simply just play along, you'll find her begging you for this company. So what do you need if you want to become the guy that says no? Well, there are 2 very important things you need to work on. The first of these is that you'll need to make sure that you have self-discipline. If you can't show any self-discipline, she'll quickly distract you from your purpose, and this will also show her that she's not the most important thing in your life. The second is that you need to make her understand that it happens on your terms. Now, this doesn't mean being like Andrew Tate, but rather just prioritizing what's important in your life. Once you do this, you essentially make yourself highly available to all women. If you want a woman to beg you for sex, you need to understand that it all comes down to value. She'll probably have hundreds of men on her social media that will simp to her needs. The reason why she doesn't give in to them is because they make it too easy for her. Women want to hunt for the right partner. This is when they truly fall in love and settle down. To get you started, you can focus on your goals and your purpose. One small hack you can use is to create a list of things you need to do on any given day. This should be your priority, and only when you find a random time throughout the day do you give her some of your attention. Physical intimacy should be reserved as a reward for completing all your daily goals. You'll immediately notice that her behavior becomes a bit different. At first, it might be confrontational, but since you're not doing anything wrong, she can't confront you about anything. Once you weather the confrontational storm, you'll find her being more willing to give you what you want. Number 3, having options and raising your market value. If you truly want to make a woman beg you for affection and attention, you'll need to raise your market value and become an option for other women. In fact, you should have the option of walking away, and before the end of the day, you can fully replace the woman you currently have. Sounds toxic, right? But the alternative is to wallow in the mediocrity of always reaching for a woman. You see, back in the days of primal humanity, successful men had their pick of the litter. If the woman they were dating didn't live up to expectations or chose to play games, the caveman could simply choose someone else. Now, as much as you think society has changed, it hasn't changed that much, and many women want to know that the man they're dating is admired by other women. This is a secret that women are unwilling to reveal due to the position it places them in. One extremely powerful hack that most of the popular kids in school do is they choose to make the person they like jealous, and even though this is bad, it still seems to work. Now, this doesn't mean you should waste your time trying to make someone jealous, but rather focus on how you can make women desire you without actively trying. But how do you do this? The important thing to know is that it all comes down to your market value and what you actually bring to the table. The more value you bring to the table, the more women will say that's the kind of guy they want to be with. Isn't this exactly what James Bond does? And no one calls him a pig or a bad person. The most pragmatic way to go about increasing your market value is to build something that can make you successful. You'll notice that everyone will want to have a part of this, and this is what creates desire towards you. Now, you should always be wary of the gold digger, but having a few of them chasing you will do no harm to your journey to find the actual woman you desire. Alternatively, you can do what many do, and this is choosing to be the same person and hoping that women will accept them for who they are. Unfortunately, this doesn't always turn out well for them, although they do get the occasional unicorn that wants to date them. Now, here's a little secret. You don't need to already be successful or think you have to wait until you are for a woman to start desiring you. You see, women actually admire passion, drive, and self-discipline above all, which is why they also love dating men on their way to success. Instead of just focusing on the money, it'll be the journey that lures them in. This ties back to how women would want to distract you and prove they can slay the dominant and disciplined beast. Now that you're aware of how the psychology of female desire works, you can go even one step further. You can also give them smaller bits of your time, and this will draw them in. Before they get comfortable, you focus on your purpose and goals. This is the traditional push-pull method. However, it still works as a powerful hack that can draw women in. Ultimately, making a woman beg for sex will extend past the physical and would often require many mental moves and games. Older men truly understand this, so make sure you check out some of the social skills these men use to get her to initiate.